All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Qadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. The brother Shabab, I'm Juan back at you with another lesson. And as always, we come out week in and week out, prophesy the downfall of America, all right, which is Babylon the Great, right? Prophesy the downfall of the so-called white man, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of, all right? And salvation is preached unto you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speak of, all right? And it is now high time to wake out of sleep, for our salvation is closer than we believe, okay? So, you know, as we know that you ain't gotta do all that, bro. Respect people's shit. Respect. You wouldn't like if I did it to you, right? Exactly. Keep walking. All right. So, you know, as always, you know, what we're seeing right now is the misery coming upon these people, man. Okay. And, you know, great miseries is going to come to those that walk in pride in the latter days, especially that damn devil. All right. Like, try to be all slick, but, you know, taking pictures and shit. But as the scriptures tell you, man, we're going to be made a spectacle unto the world, man, when they see us out here on these highways and hedges trying to wonder what we out here for. All right. And we're really out here to preach your judgment. All right. What's coming to America. All right. And everybody here is going to be destroyed of these other nations, man, in America. And salvation is only going to come to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which turn back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, being that remnant, all right, that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has saved in these last days, all right, to be delivered, okay? 1/3 of our people are going to make it through the fire, man, are going to be saved, but 2/3 of our people, all right, are going to be cut off and die, all right? And that is the great miseries that's coming upon our people, man. And a lot of these people that are going to be, you know, in great miseries, most of these are going to be women in these days, okay? As a matter of fact, we'll start off with 2nd Ezra's. Second Ezra's 8 and 50. And it says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that dwell in the world in the latter time, because they have walked in great pride, man. All right, these people walk in great pride, and one of the ones that walk in the greatest pride, all right, is our women, all right, starting with the so-called black woman, all right, down to the Hispanic tribes and the Native American tribe, you see? And they have learned that pride from their father Esau, you see? And Esau is the one that walks upon this earth with the greatest pride, all right? It tells you that in Obadiah, the 3rd chapter, that the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, okay? And him being in that grateful pride, that's why America's about to be destroyed, man. All right, but before, all right, like I said, our women are the ones that are constantly walking in a lot of pride in these last days, man. And that's why great miseries is about to come on to them, all right? And you see that all through the social media, you see these women crashing out all over TikTok, all over Instagram, Facebook, all right, all these social media platforms, man. And it ain't just our women too. You got the rest of these women out here also that are crashing out because of the things that's happening. They're not able to handle these things, man. All right. And because they're in that feminism spirit, all right, the Lord is going to bring that down and bring them real down. You see? So, matter of fact, let's grab. This is Isaiah. This is Isaiah 32. And we'll take it from 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice. All right. And who's the voice? The voice is the men of the Lord that's on these highways and hedges. Okay. Constantly preaching the word onto you, because that's how the Lord speaks to these people, man. He speaks through the prophets. All right. You cannot have an actual conversation with our power, man. All right. You got to remember our power, all right, had casted us away. Our power wanted nothing to do with us because we were being so wicked. Okay, so he sent since the beginning of time all the way to the garden. All right, we always had prophets that were among us that were speaking to the people, man. All right, and it tells you that. And Luke, 1 second. This is Luke 1:70. And I'll take it, I'll just go straight to the point. It says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Okay, so the voice that's being brought out right now is these men of the Lord telling you to turn back from your wickedness, man. And that's why the Lord said, arise, you women that are at ease. See, these women are at ease here, man. A lot of these women have all these benefits that they use as a crutch. Okay, they're out there, you know, at ease because they have all this money accumulated from their OnlyFans pages, man. These women are making thousands, if not millions of dollars. You see, you got our women, so-called Negro woman, the Latino woman, all right, that love to, they basically love to use the crutch of the system, all right, through welfare, okay, through food stamps, all right. You got you got these women that put their husbands and their men in jail, all right, and then they benefit off of child support. You see, that's all the benefits of this place, man. This is why these women walk around in great pride, because they think that they've earned these things, but they haven't earned shit, man. At the end of the day, all right, they have gotten these benefits, all right, and have been able to succeed, all right, because they've been wicked as hell to our people, man, especially the Israelite man, all right, and they love to run to these other nations for a crutch, all right, which the Lord had gave you the command that you don't deal with these other nations, man. When you go into the story of Simeon, all right, and Levi, all right, you had their sister that was defiled by one of the other nations, man. And what happened in that time, man? They had to go into the town, and they basically took everybody out of that town, putting them down and putting them down to slaughter. You see, because they had defiled their sister. So that was already a warning telling you that you're not supposed to deal with these other nations, man. But you have to understand, going back to, you know, the Willie Lynch letters, okay, that the woman was going to be a weapon to be used against the Israelite man in these days. Okay, and when the Willie Lynch letters were written, that shit played out from that time all the way till now. You see, and it plays out more than ever now, because when the Willie Lynch letters were written, all right, it wasn't yet, that system wasn't yet fully, you know, established for it to take us down yet. All right, the thought was there. All right, they had the idea of what they were going to do, but it would take years in the making. All right, for it to actually come to its complete what's the word I'm looking for it to be completed, you know, for it to actually work out in their favor. And that's now. You see, that's why the scriptures say that. Let me grab that real quick. A woman shall compass a man. A woman shall compass a man, KJV. All right, this is Jeremiah 31:22, and it says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh has created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. All right. And again, this doesn't even just pertain to our tribes. It does mostly. All right. Because remember, they're always trying to put the Israelites in a bad predicament. All right. But it has also, you know, fed on to these other women of these nations. Okay. And you see down these streets, and you'll see everywhere you look, man, that the woman, all right, is got the man by their balls, man. All right. And they basically maneuver them wherever they want them to go. All right. Whether they be, you know, Esau, Edom, all right, whether they be of these other nations or whether they be of the Israelite culture. All right. But at the end of the day, the ones that's feeling it the most is the Israelite culture, man. And it's because Esau had planned that to happen in the years to come. All right. And we are in those times where the woman has compassed the man. Okay. These women get supported by these governments, man. And here it is. Our people are in jail. Our people can't benefit. Our men can't benefit off the government, which you shouldn't be benefiting off of no government anyway. All right. Because the scriptures tell you not to lean into the shadow of Egypt. All right. Not to use these nations as a crutch. All right. Not to follow the multitude to do evil. All right. Which that goes back to Eve in the garden. You see. she was already in that following the heathen spirit. All right, because she listened to the serpent, which gave her the philosophy to make her think that she is like God. All right, that she could be higher than God, and she ate the philosophy, and then she went and passed it on to Adam. You see, same thing that you see today. Esau fed you the lie, thinking that you have all this feminism, and now you use the feminism against your own men. Okay, and now they have that spirit of I don't care about no man. I don't need a man. You see, I could do it all by myself. You see, but as soon as something goes down, right? Who's the first thing they trying to call for? A man. You see, they can't even fix a damn tire if their tire becomes flat. You see, they can't even fix a light bulb. All right, if they wanted to, they got to call a man for that. All right. So it shows you that a man is very important, man, to have. But Esau has given them that trick bag, man, to make them think that they don't need a man. All right. So let's go to Isaiah 32 and 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Why is the Lord calling you careless daughters, man? Because y'all filthy. All right. Y'all full of abominations. Y'all disrespectful. Okay. Y'all don't have no morals. Y'all don't even have respect for yourselves, man. Here it is that this place is falling apart, and all these women can think about is jumping on from rod to rod, all right, trying to make some type of money based off of OnlyFans, man. That's a disrespectful thing to yourself and to your body, man. You're supposed to protect your body, man. That's a sacred thing, okay? But again, these women are constantly moving around without a care in the world because they don't know Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. All right, it's an important thing to follow after the laws of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, to follow after his word. All right. So it says, arise, you women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. The Lord telling you to give ear unto the speech, man. Listen quickly. All right, because suddenly destruction is going to come upon you. Okay, it says, tremble, Salakia, yeah, many days and years shall ye be troubled. All right. And they're in trouble right now as we speak. All right. These are the days that they're in trouble. Your benefits is being taken away. You got Esau, Edom, that's taking away your child support. He's taking the child support away from you. You see, he's now taking away that you can't claim your children if you're on child support. Okay. He's taking away your stat benefits. All right, he's taking away that welfare from you. So now these women are going in a crazed state of mind because they have that mentality of what am I going to do now? You know, like if the world owes you something. You see, a lot of the crash outs that you see being put out on the web, that's exactly what they're saying. What am I supposed to do? You're responsible to pay for my children, for my life. What you mean? You got hardworking citizens out here, right? And their tax dollars got to go to your broke ass. You see? Because your lazy ass don't want to get up and get a job. And it's all because they have gotten comfortable with the serpent, man. You see? Like the brother from Zebulon out there. All right, I was just doing the video. He was basically telling you, man, you have gotten too comfortable with the crumbs, all right, of Esau, man. And they love the crumbs of Esau, man, because they love their oppressor the most. You see, they'll listen and do whatever they can to get ahead of life, to save their own pride, all right, even destroy their own man, all right, for them to get ahead of life, man. While the Israelite man has to sit here and suffer. You know, at the end of the day, we suffer every single day in this shithole. All right, being a man of Yahweh. All right, and just the Israelite man in general. As a matter of fact, let me grab this. Wait till that damn train back. That shit is loud. While that's passing, let me just do this. It's almost passing. I know it wants to do one more beat. There you go, pass by. So this is Ecclesiasticus 40:1. It says, "Great travail is created for every man, and a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam from the day that they go out of their mother's womb to the day that they return to the mother of all things. Their imaginations of things to come in the day of death trouble their thoughts and cause the fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Salak, cause the fear of their heart. All right. So you being an Israelite man in this society, man, you're already in great trouble. All right. Because you have Esau against you, you have these other nations against you, and you have these women that are against you, man. So pretty much the whole world is against us. All right. And we're not talking about these other nations, man. Ain't nothing happening to these other nations. Okay. They're living good, man. They're benefiting off of our bloodshed, man, off our money that we make. Here it is. We'll work hard all day long. All right. And then we come back to feed these damn devils the same money that we just accumulated. We have to give it back to them because we need things, right? Because we need to survive. We need to have a house to have to live in. You know, you have to have food and things like that, right? So all that shit goes back to this damn devil. You see? And then you got these women that'll be so damn wicked that all they want to do is basically spend your money. All right. You got the feminism state that these women, oh, I ain't got to spend my money. You got to spend money on me because they think they're the prize. All right. The true prize is the men of the Lord, man. All right. The Lord said, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. All right. Let's grab that in Isaiah 13. This is Isaiah 13. That damn train ain't playing right now. All right. This is Isaiah 13:12, and it says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right. So the true prize in the society is the actual man. Okay. It is not these women. All right. But these women in that state of mind, man, they think that they run everything in the society, man. And very so, because we're under them curses, man, that a woman shall compass a man. Okay. So now the word of a man, especially the word of a man of the Lord, ain't shit to the society. We're looked down upon as pieces of shit, as the scum of the earth. Okay. And these other nations, they look at us the same exact way, especially Esau, Edom. Okay. But now the time is coming that the Lord is starting to devalue these women. Okay. And the man's value is starting to go up. All right. As this place continues to fall down. All right. The value of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's men start to go up. All right. These other men that are not in the truth, they're going to have no value, man. All right. All that tough shit is going to go out the window. All right. That same spirit that they have, you know, thinking that they can hang with these women is going to go out the window. All right. You're not going to be able to prosper in this place, man. You're going to be destroyed and have great miseries come upon you also for being that simpleton ass nigga that wants to. As a matter of fact, let's grab that. All right. And children rule over them, KJV. This is Isaiah 3:12. It says, for as of my, let me, yeah. 11, it says, woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Okay. Yeah. The children of this place, man, they oppress us. All right. Our little children running around as little monsters. Okay. Because you have our women that are being whores and causing so much whoredom and adultery that they end up having children that are born in vain. You see? So you got little monsters running around here. They have no morals, no respect. All right. They'll talk back to a grown-ass man like they are grown-ass people, man. That's wicked as hell. And that comes from the actual mothers, man. They see these things happening in the household. They see these things being portrayed in the videos, in the music, okay, in the movies. All right. It says, and women rule over them. And my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. You see? And they see it from their mothers, man. Especially these women that are young. You see them at a young age talking disrespectful to men, man. As a matter of fact, let's grab this. As is the mother soul's daughter, KJ Big. All right, this is Ezekiel 16:44. It says, behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is the daughter. Okay. And because that also goes to these to their sons, you see, because most of the men, all right, are locked up in prison. They're dead, you know, they're out on these on these corners selling drugs. All right. So there's no order in the house. That's what the Willie Lynch letters was about, man. If you can take the man away from their family, all right, you'll be able to rule, all right, over the women and the children and have them doing whatever you want because there's no order. That's why they want to always take that man out of the household, man. All right. When you actually have a full house, right? You got the father, the daughter, the father, the mother, and then the kids. All right. You'll see that if he's a real father, when shit is out of order, you're gonna get an ass whooping. You see, you're gonna get on your child and teach them the right way, and leave it up to Esau. What does Esau do, man? Esau makes laws like you can't touch your children. All right, the scriptures tell you not to spare the rod. Okay, not to spare the rod of correction. So, in all reality, man, these kids are supposed to actually be taking ass whoopings from their parents. All right. But because of the laws, they'll call DIFUS on your ass, man. You see, to take the man out the household, man. And that's taking the order out of the house, out of the household. All right. So continuing on, it says, behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is the daughter. And these women walking around as whores, right? So you see their little daughters walking around as whores. You see these women, everything is a damn twerk to them. All right. Everything is about twerking and dancing. It's almost like that's the only talent that these people have. They don't have the talent of going home and cooking you a home cooked meal. All right. They'll order out. They'll give you a TV dinner. You know, that's wicked as hell, man. You're supposed to be doing your duties as a Proverbs 31 woman, man. Okay. Go and read that. That's your true duties as a woman. All right. You're supposed to be cooking, cleaning, keepers at home, teaching your young daughters to be submissive unto men. All right. Singing these songs, which is these scriptures, onto your son, if you have it. And then the rest you leave for the man, the husband, to teach him how to be a grown man, you see, when that time comes. But you don't see that. These women don't want to take accountability for that. These women want to live in the most laziest lifestyle they can fucking possibly live in. All right. And all they want to do is just party all day long. You see, that's why the scriptures tell you, she that liveth in pleasure is there while she liveth. And that's why most of these women are about to meet their doom. All right. Because these women love to live in constant pleasure, man. From Thursday to Sunday. It's not even from Thursday to Sunday anymore, man. These women actually start partying on Tuesdays, man. You go to the bar, and the only people you'll see in the bar is a bunch of simpletons that have a miserable life, right? And their wives kicked them out. They're mad at their wives. You know, they done lost their wives. All right. So they'll go sit in the bars, and then they'll spend a little bit of money they make, hard-working money, and they'll go spend it on these fucking whores that are just looking for that money, you see, to add to their bank account. So they don't have to pay nothing out of their pocket. All right. That's why they have these OnlyFans and shit like that, which is basically modern day prostitution, man. They don't have to stand on these corners anymore. You know, They don't have to be in the on the corner with stockings and skirts anymore, man. All they got to do is just jump in front of the camera and press live, man, and you got a whole bunch of people, all right, simple ass niggas that will give their money, all right, onto them, and they'll make it cheap for you. Okay, they'll tell you, oh, all you got to do is give me $5 and I can make this happen for you. You know, if you get 1 million people to subscribe to your shit at $5, that's $5 million right there. It's that simple. You see, and that's how these women have become just like Esau, cunning hunters. You right? They're hunting for your jewels. They're hunting for your money. They're basically hunting for your souls. That's why they're Jezebels at the end of the day. All right, and it goes to our women, so-called Negro women, Latino women, Native American women. All right, and the top one is these Negro women, man. They the worst case scenario. Why? Because they are the top tribe, and whatever they do, the rest of these tribes follow. All right, everything's about looking good. All right, having the glamour and glitz. The Lord about to take all that shit away from them. All right. As a matter of fact, let's grab that. All right. This is Isaiah 3 and 16. It says, moreover, the Lord Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. Yeah, that's what they do. All right. You see them constantly walking up and down these streets, switching their ass. All right. Trying to shake a butt cheek. All right. To get your attention. They walk with stiff forth necks, stretched forth necks. It says, it's a lot here. It says, because the daughters of Zion are hardy and walk with stretched forth necks. You know, you see them twisting their neck with that attitude, pointing the finger. Oh, I don't need you. You ain't shit, nigga. Okay. But here it is. You're being exposed by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that you truly ain't shit. Because now all you have to do, all Esau had to do was take away some benefits, and these women went crazy, man. And that's not even, hey man, that's not even a scratch on the surface of what's about to come to these women, man. What's about to come to them is great destruction, man. Great famine. All right. A lot of these women in these last days, man, you're gonna see them eating their own children because of their great pride. All right. The fact that you would even eat your own children or even cast off your own children for you to save your pride and be good is wicked as hell, man. You got women that'll sell their own kids just for some money, just to go party. You see it all the time on social media. A woman will leave a damn child at her house for fucking 2 weeks while she's on a vacation, man. And then when she come back and then charges is pressed against her ass, she talking about, oh, I didn't do nothing. Okay? While they was out there blowing all types of rod on that damn vacation, man, having the time of their life. While another man basically paid for your ass to get out there. You didn't pay for that trip. Somebody paid for that trip. You didn't earn that trip. All right? As a matter of fact, let's grab this. This is Proverbs. Proverbs 30. Proverbs 30 and 20. It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. For the words, I have not done no wickedness, to come out of a woman's mouth is the most craziest thing to ever hear. Because the Lord said that you are the most wicked thing upon the earth. Okay, let's grab that. This is Ecclesiastes. All right. Okay. Do this. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 26. Oh, 7 and 26. It says, and I find, as a matter of fact, let's take it up one. It says, I applied, this is King Solomon speaking, man, the most wisest king on earth. It says, I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom. All right. And that's what King Solomon did, man. See, that's what we are supposed to be doing as men. Okay. We're supposed to be seeking out wisdom because because wisdom is better than rubies, man. You see, it's not to be compared to. All right. It, wisdom is better than precious metals, precious gold. Okay. It says, I apply mine heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And that's what this place is all about, man. All right, it tells you that in the 10th chapter of Ecclesiastes, man. That folly is set in great dignity. Okay, this place has got crazy amount of folly that's pushed out, and people worship that folly. People love that folly. They're entertained by that folly, not knowing that the folly that you constantly see is just pure wickedness, man. All right. It says, I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reasoning of things and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolish and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. You see? And that's why it tells you in Ecclesiastes the 25 chapter, all right, that of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. You see? This whole place is falling apart by our people because of what Eve did, going all the way back to the garden. You see? So continuing on, it says, I find more bitter than death the woman, okay, whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counted one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found, man. So the chances of you finding an actual righteous woman, all right, a virtuous woman at that, is very slim, you see, because these women is wicked as hell, man. And you can thank Esau for that, man, because Esau has brainwashed the woman's mind, has brainwashed her mentality, you see. So continuing on, back to Isaiah 3, all right, the Lord right now is about to take all these benefits, all these things from these women that they love most, okay? This is Isaiah 3 and 16. Moreover, the Lord Yahweh said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and they walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. Yeah, they'll have an actual man, and they'll look at men passing by, man, saying in their mind, oh, that man look good. You know, that nigga look good. That's wicked as hell. Because even the thought of folly is wickedness to the eyes of the Lord. You see? You're really supposed to have your head down, man. When you walking with a whole man, your husband, all right, your man, boyfriend, whatever you want to call it, all right, because if you have a man, period, all right, you're supposed to rehearse the righteous acts, okay, as a grown-ass woman, you see? So they'll sit there and they'll look at other men while you're walking with them. And then you have these wicked-ass men that sit back and flirt back with them on some flirtatious shit, man. That's wicked as hell on both ends. All right. It says wanton eyes walking and mincing as they go and making tinkling with their feet. Yeah. You see them put on these high heels, you know, to make them a little taller, you know, to make their ass stick out more, you know, to make their body more appealing to the eyes of men. Okay. And again, that's all wickedness. All right. They'll put on all these apparels, all right, that pretty much show off their whole entire body. Okay, you're not supposed to be showing any parts of your body, man. You're supposed to cover yourself up. All right, not give the eye. Back in the day, they used to have clothing that would leave your mind to imagination. All right, that shit no longer exists anymore, man. You can literally see what these women are about. You can see what her ass cheeks look like. You can see what her box looking like. looking all loose and roast beefy, okay? Looking like a whole catcher's mitt, and they think that that's something special, okay? Men love women that have not been dealt with anybody else, man. You see? They're supposed to be virgins, all right? Which that's impossible in this place, man, all right? Because of all the sexualized things that Esau puts all over the movies, you know, the in the music, you know. So they hear these things and they see these things and they want to be like these things because they think it's actually normal, man, and it's not. All right. So it says, therefore the Lord Yahweh Shai will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord Yahweh will discover their sacred parts. And that's why you see a lot of these women, all right, they have to wear wigs, man, because the Lord has discovered their secret parts. The Lord has scabbed the crown of their heads, all right, to the point where they actually lose their head. And who do you see it the most on, man? You see it on the tribe of Judah, all right. You'll see it on that southern kingdom. They all bald-headed ass women, yo. All right, looking like bowling balls with a little bit of hair. Okay, it says, in that day, the Lord Yahweh Shai will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments. See, this is what the Lord is doing now. He's taking away everything that they love the most, everything that they worship the most. Okay, because they don't worship Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They worship the things of this world. They worship money. They worship looks. They worship sex. Okay, they worship just complete filth. Nothing that is going to benefit you to being a better woman. Okay, these women don't want to be better women. They just want to be complete whores, man. And that's straight wickedness. Okay, it says, in that day, the Lord Yahweh Shai will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their calls and their round tyrants like the moon, the chains and bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings. Yeah, this is all apparel that these women wear. They love to put tons of jewelry on. You know, now you got the women that they dishonor their bodies, all right, and you see them walking around with nothing but tattoos, all right. That shit is wicked. Okay, now we had tribal things back in our ancient times, all right, which they were going off on that too, but there were certain ways to put, you know, these tribal markings on yourself, man. All right. But these women are completely lost with all these tattoos. You know, they got them on their face. They got them all over their legs. They got them tramp stamps all over their back, all over their ass. Okay. And they think it's sexy. All right. But to a man of the Lord, man, that shit is just straight disgusting. That shit is wicked as hell. We like a woman that's natural. Okay. We like a woman that has natural skin where her skin is glowing. Okay. These women look like death. That's why they have to put these things on, because when you take these things off, you take the face paint off and all that, they look like complete death. They is ugly as shit when they wake up in the morning. That's why the Lord said, basically, when they rent their face, they paint their faces. That is basically witchcraft. All right? All that shit is witchcraft because it's something that is not true. You see? It's something that is not really you. Okay? Yeah, you look good when you're in the club, when you just had about 6, 7 drinks and it's dark as hell, and when your ass gets taken home, yeah, it look good. But when you wake up and you realize you sitting next to Predator, all right, you're like, oh shit, this bitch didn't look like that last night, you know, because all that damn witchcraft has basically came off of their face, you know. You done pulled her wig out her edges, you know, trying to hit it from the back. You wake up and you realize this bitch had no hair. You know, and the witchcraft has gotten stronger to the point where you got fucking wicked ass men that want to be acting like women because they want the spoils and the benefits that these women get in this society because they've been hurt by women in life, you know. So they go out there and they turn to women in damn selves, man. You see, and that witchcraft is scary, man. But you ain't gonna fool no man of the Lord at the end of the day. All right, because we know the difference between a man and a woman and a woman. All right, you're not fooling us. You might fool this world, okay? Because this whole world is already fooled. okay, by the witchcraft and philosophies of Esau, man. All right. So it says the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the leg, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen, and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent. You see, that's one of the biggest things that our women have, man. They got a crazy ass smell upon them, a smell of death, a smell of evil, a smell of filthiness. All right, thinking that their box smells good as hell. When you constantly deal with men after men, and you having different rods enter into you, right? You're actually polluting your body, man. And every man that you sleep with, their semen stays retained inside your body. So you have different types of DNAs in your body. That's why most of these women are crazy as hell. That's why these women are bipolar as hell. All right, because they have different DNAs inside their bodies, man. They have different minds from all the DNA that they retained. All right, whether they gargled it, swallowed it, all right, put it in them. All right, it's still in you at the end of the day. Okay, and a lot of these men don't even take care of themselves. They wicked as hell, nasty as hell. They don't like taking showers and shit. You know, they'll go have sex with one woman and then don't clean themselves and then go try to smash with another one. That shit is disgusting. That shit's wicked. You see? So every time you sleep with another man, all right, you're putting more DNA into your body. All right, different personalities. All right, and it's an actual scientific fact. All right, all you got to do is look it up. All right. So a lot of these women, you know, they smell. And again, who does it go? It goes on to the top tribe the most. That this whole chapter that we're reading is the troubles of Judah. All right. And then because the rest of the tribes follow, all right, it pertains on to the rest of these women also. You see? And again, the so-called black woman is the one that smells the worst in her box. All right. They're eating all types of abominated ass foods. These women love eating the seafood, man. Seafood is the roaches of the sea. You see? You got you got crab legs they love. They love that lobster, that expensive dinner, you know? And it's crazy that Esau will even make those abominated ass foods expensive like that, man. Because it's not supposed to be in our bodies. That's why these oceans that we see, all right, are not clean anymore, man. That's why they're so polluted, because Esau is taking out all these all these abominated foods, all right, from the bottom of the sea, which clean the sea. That's what they do. All right. They clean the sea. They are called the roaches of the sea. They eat everything that dies in the sea that comes to the bottom, and they cleanse it. If you grab an actual fish tank, right? If you into one of those that are into fish, all right. When you buy fish are gonna shit in it, right? Fish are gonna piss in it, so your tank becomes polluted. Okay. And then what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to buy like little shrimps, brink shrimp, and you put them inside there. And what they do is they walk around and they just eat all the algae up, all the things that are polluted, to cleanse your actual tank, and it keeps your tank clean. But if you take that and remove it out, all right, that whole entire tank is going to become cloudy. Okay, so imagine when these damn when these people are eating these shrimps, these lobsters, okay, these crabs, all right. I can only imagine even the damn crabs and shrimps don't even want to go down there and eat that. You saw, they probably be saying to themselves, "Damn, this bitch stink." Okay, and that's why it's important for you to know your dietary laws. Going to Leviticus, the 11th chapter. All right, I believe it's 11th or the 13th chapter. Okay, you're supposed to keep yourself in a healthy diet so you don't have that stink. You know, these women be having these OnlyFans pages, and they'll talk about, oh, my shit is creamy, and you know, man, for it to be creamy, that's because your ass is eating some disgusting ass abominated foods, man, along with you putting things in your body that you're not supposed to be putting into you, man. All right, this shit's supposed to be like water. All right, it's supposed to smell good. All right, like fruits, like vegetables. Okay, so it says, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness. Okay, going back to what we just said, right? Most of these women from our tribes, so-called black women, the Latino women, all right, a lot of them are bald headed underneath there, man. All right, you see a lot of bald headed from the Spanish tribes. You see a lot of Dominicans, man, the tribe of Simeon. Okay, they're always coming up bald. They always got bonnets on their heads, man. You see, what you put in wigs and shit like that, that's wicked as hell also. All right, because you're actually putting hair that's from dead people. All right, you got Elam that basically sells you those things, man. Elam sells you that, Moab sells you that, and they know exactly what they selling. You ain't gonna see none of them put that shit on. You don't see none of them wearing wigs because they take care of their head, you know. But they make a ton of money, all right, selling it to our women. All right, when you look it up, go look it up. What wigs really come from, man? Elam will literally take dead bodies that are women. They take their hair, okay, and then they put it into a whole stitching and make you a whole wig. And now you are putting a dead woman's hair on yourself and bringing curses and spirits upon you. Actually, you know, which goes hand in hand with, you know, she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. You know, these women, just to go live in their pleasures, they'll put on a nice wig, you know, because they want to be like these heathens. You know, you got Esau that'll basically make you think that that blonde is the way to go. You know, that shit is wicked as hell, man. For you to have blonde hair, that's a leprosy of the hair, basically. You know, having recessive eyes, all right, is leprosy of the eyes. All right, and to be on that white skin, right, is leprosy of the skin. You see, that's why the Lord gave Cain, gave Esau that mark of leprosy, man, to show him that he was just as good as dead. And here it is, these women, you'll have these women of our tribes, right? They'll sell their souls to the devil, right? They become stars in the movie business, all right? And what's the first thing Esau does? See, they'll be looking good in the beginning, right? But eventually Esau will make them get, you know, butt implants, you know, BBLs, which has your ass stinking, all right? Because they putting up the poison in there, okay? They'll make them turn their hair from their natural color, long hair. They'll try to make them cut their hair, you know, down, because the woman's not supposed to have no short hair. The glory of a woman is her hair. So why would you cut off your hair, man, and make it low? All right, when the glory of a woman is their actual hair. You see, you got Esau that'll make you change your skin color. Yeah, you need to be a little bit, you know, lightened up. You don't need to be so dark. You know, to have that melanin is the most beautiful thing. Matter of fact, melanin right now is at an all-time high where it actually costs more than gold. Go figure that. Why is it that melanin, all right, why is it that these other nations, why is it that the so-called white man wants your melanin so bad? Because it's worth something, you see? All right? So he'll try to make you change he'll try to make you change your hair color into blonde, all right? So continuing on, it says, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Yeah, see, that's what's coming to you women, all right? A lot of you women are going to end up taking that MOTB, all right, when Esau comes to portray and makes it mandatory, because you're going to want to go back to the world. You're going to want to go back to having pleasures of this world. All right. You got women that are ready to do whatever they can because they lost SNAP benefits, man. You had that one video with the woman who was saying, I'm ready to sell box. Like if you weren't doing that to begin with. See, now you're going to actually sell the box. But before the SNAP benefits, you were just giving the box for free. Now you want to sell it? That shit is worthless, man. There's no value in it. And as you women continue to get older, your value goes down, man. As a woman, as a man gets older, his value goes up. You see? Because once you women start having children, all right, you basically, man, you have lost your value to a whole nother point, a whole nother level, all right. Unless you just been sticking it out with that one man all your life, well then, hey, you in good, hey, your value's great, all right, because your man is still with you. You see, but the moment you start having men with multiple, you start having babies with multiple men, all right, your value is beyond decreased, okay, and no real man is ever going to take you serious. That's why you'll always be a whore on to these men. All right. And then you get mad when these men, talk to you a certain way because you wanted to put that image out. You see? And that's why the Lord is bringing the judgment upon these women now, because they've walked in great pride thinking that they the shit. All right. So in that day, you're going to see a lot of burning instead of beauty, because these women going to end up taking that MOTB, right? They're going to end up, and those that take the MOTB, right? What did the Lord say? You're going to feel the wrath and the indignation of the angels in the presence of the lambs, all right? And presence of the lamb, according to Revelations 14:9, okay? So you're going to end up taking missiles out here, man, okay? When Jacob's trouble comes, you wanted to play the role of adultery. You wanted to be that whore, all right? These women are going to ravish you, you see? You're not going to be ravished by the men that you've been wanting to. See, these women out here running around sleeping with 1,000 men in one night, okay? Because it's the men that they choose to sleep with, because they're attracted to those men at that moment. But in that day of Jacob's trouble, when these UN troops, all right, when all these men that you thought wasn't shit and that you played them out, they come looking for your ass, right? Which you already see videos like that, all right? You see women making videos of men coming in their house looking for them. Women walking late night coming from their jobs, and then they get snatched up. Then they get ravished in the alley. All right. That's judgment of the Lord because of the pride that you walk in. You see? Right. So continuing on, it says, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Yeah, because the Lord is going to humble you. You see? Because you had that spirit of, I don't need a man. I don't need no protection. Okay? A man is your protection hedge. All right? As a matter of fact, let's go back to Isaiah 32. All right? Take it from the top. It says, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. A man shall be as a hiding place from the wind. All right? The wind represents destruction. Okay? That's going to be your hiding place. Okay? See, because the prudent man foreseeth the evil and he hideth himself. How's he going to hide himself? He hides himself in these scriptures. All right? So you following after the man of the Lord, you're able to hide yourself with him. Because remember, the Lord is listening to the prayers of the men. The Lord ain't dealing with women, man. All right? Does he deal with these women that are the elect? Yeah, on a certain level. All right? But they still have to be humbled very low. Okay? Because at one point they were walking around wicked. You see? So it says, a man shall be a hiding place from the wind and a cover from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Okay? And where there is no protection, right? Let's grab that real quick. Salakia. This is Ecclesiasticus 36 and 24. It says, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. All right, and that's what you are. All right. as it tells you in Genesis, the third chapter, all right, that a man shall rule over you. You should want a man to rule over you, all right? You not ruling over a man. You should want a man of the Lord at that to rule over you because it's done in righteousness, all right? So when a man has a woman, all right, that's his possession. That's why jealousy is not supposed to come out of a woman, man. Jealousy comes from actually a man, all right? Scriptures tell you in Ecclesiastes, the 25th chapter, that a woman should not be jealous of another woman. And here it is, we'll mention another woman, and these women get jealous as shit, you know? We're supposed to have multiple wives, okay? Whether you like it or not, whether it sounds good to you or not, all right? You go to these other countries on the other side of the world, man, they all got multiple wives, and they down with it, all right? They're all sister wives, all right? Actually, having multiple wives will actually help you, all right, in this society today, because you can all come together and live comfortably, man, you know? But they're not down with that shit, man. But here it is. What do you think they get that whole mentality of having all these multiple men, man? Because, you know, they'll hear that that a man is supposed to have multiple women, all right? So they'll come with that mentality. Well, if he can have multiple women, why can't I have multiple men? Okay? Cut that. Cut that. It says, he that getteth a wife getteth a possession, help like unto himself, a pillar of rest. All right, that's what a woman's supposed to be, a help me. That's what the woman was created for. Okay, the Lord saw that Adam was alone, right, and he said that man should not be alone, but I should make to him a help me unto himself. Okay, he was going to have a possession that was going to help him whenever he had, you know, the time of need. Okay, it says a pillar on it says a help like unto himself and a pillar of rest. All right, yeah, because at the end of the day, you know, you get balanced out. A man gets balanced out when he has a woman. All right, so she becomes this pillar of rest. You know, you want to come home, you want to be able to have your woman, you know, cooking you a nice meal. You get to lay up with her. You don't had a long ass day. You out there preaching, you know, working your ass off, and you want to come home to a nice massage. You know, lay down with your woman and, you know, speak these scriptures to her. Okay, fill her mind, all right, with the jewels of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? It says, he that getteth the wife beginneth the possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Where no hedge is, the possession is spoiled, you see? And what is the man? All right, the man is a protection hedge to a woman, you see? But with the I don't need a man spirit, all right, when all hell break loose, when shit hits the fan, all right, now you trying to look for a man. But ain't no man going to deal with you, man. None of these men of today want to deal with these women, especially the Babylonian women, the women of Babylon the Great, America. We rather deal with these other nations. We'd rather deal with these other women, all right, because they're actually more in line and more in order than you are, man. And these women will get mad when you mention these other nations, man. Even the women in this truth, you know, they still can't get around that part, you know, that we could deal with these other women. And that's how you know they truly don't believe, man. All right. Because these other women, again, they stand in a certain order, and our women are just totally destroyed. Okay. You can't tell our women nothing, you see. So it says where no hedge is, the possession is spoiled. Okay. And these women, you give them too much liberty. And the scriptures tell you not to do that, man. Let's grab that real quick. This is Ecclesiastes 25. All right. This is 25 and one second. This is 25 and 25. It says, I'll go up one. Matter of fact, I'll go up to 19 and go down. All right. It says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. And that's why these simpleton men, all right, end up in the hands of a wicked ass woman, man, because they wicked themselves. It says, as the climate up a sandy way is the feet of the age, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman. Yeah, we're not supposed to stumble at their beauty because beauty is vain, man. All right. A woman can look as beautiful as they want, man, but behind that beauty, there's a whole lot of there's a whole lot of agony. There's a whole lot of demons. There's a whole lot of disaster. You see? It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. Yeah, we're not supposed to desire her just for pleasure. All right. Us as men, all right, we're not supposed to be just smashing all over the place just because we want to have sex and we want the pleasure. You know, sex was created for us to create life, to create a legacy, you know, to create a nation. Because one child, as the scriptures say, will turn into a nation. All right. Now, do we have pleasure? Yeah, of course. You're going to have your pleasure and your duties as a man is to give your woman that rod. All right. But you're not supposed to just constantly do it, man. You see? It says a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger. And that's what it is. These women run their men. That's why these women have constant anger on them, man. And then these men, when they break out in their anger, oh, they the bad guy. Who do they call? Esau. Who comes to the rescue? Esau. The system. These Roman centurions of today. You see the police, okay? They got the police in their hands. You see? Because the laws helps them. You see? The laws benefit them. It doesn't benefit us. You know? Every time I see you out here, you're giving a whole lot of tickets. I know, I hear you. It's just like these people don't get it, huh? All right. So it says, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. Courage maketh a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. All right. And what's the scripture say, man? Give me any plague but the plague of a woman, man. Because that's what a woman is. Bands and nets. All right. They'll break your little heart. All right. And then you're sitting there crying like a little bitch about it, man. All right. It says, a woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees, because that's what your duty's supposed to be, man. Here it is. Your man is already against the whole entire world. All right. And you're supposed to be making it easy upon him. You're supposed to be his peace and not his headache. Okay. It says, a wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband is in distress, Salakia, maketh weak hands and feeble knees. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. This is the point I wanted. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. All right. When you give them that liberty, all right, that possession becomes spoiled, man. And that's what these women are, spoiled. That's why when you take away the benefits, the things that have been spoiling them so much, all right, now they want to be like a little baby and cry about it, man. You see? So it says, if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. All right. You get it. Bill of divorce is funny as hell, man. All right. These men don't want to give up their women. Here it is. She'll step all over you. Okay. And you'll take her back, you know, which that tells you in Deuteronomy not to do that, man. Once you give up a woman, you're not supposed to take her back, man. All right. Because she's defiled. She went and slept with another man, you see, which I'm not going to get into that because I'll be here all day with women. And I'm on a time schedule. All right. But I will possibly, if the Lord allows, do a lesson on that later. Okay. It says you're supposed to give her a bill of divorce, man. If she's unclean and she's not going in the ways, the order that you're giving her, which in these days, these women will consider it as you being controlling, well, then fuck them. Give them that bill of divorce and go find another one, man. All right. The probability is like 20 women to one guy nowadays, man. There's more women on earth than men. Okay. So there's always another woman for you that'll treat you better. You know your value at the end of the day, man. All right. And the best thing is for you to look for a woman that's from Not from Babylon the Great, not from America, man. Go to one of these other countries and go find a woman, man. See how they treat you. See how they really, they ain't in that feminism state, you know? They're in their actual femininity, you know what I'm saying? They're very soft and gentle as a woman should be. But in this society, these women are niggas, you see? They want to be brolic, okay? They want to be Mama Dukes, okay? Baby D's, you know? So continuing on, all right? In Ecclesiasticus 36 and 25, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that has no wife will wander up and down mourning, okay? And again, they don't want to have a true man of the Lord. They don't want to have an actual man. Well, look what happens when you don't. You see, now they're trying to find somewhere to run to, you know, because they see that the benefits is not working in their favor. Okay, they see that the vintage is failing. Okay, the money is about to collapse. What are you women gonna do when you can't make them OnlyFans pages no more and continue to make millions of dollars? All right, they're gonna bitch and moan, right? So let's go back to Isaiah 32, okay? And let's jump to back to 9, all right? It says, rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail. Yeah, all the benefits of the society that you've been benefiting of is going to fail for you, man. Esau's going to strip you from that, man. And he's doing it little by little now, all right? Showing you that he had you in a trick bag the whole entire time, okay? It says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, you women that are at ease. Be troubled, you careless ones, okay? Strip you and make you bare. Yeah, the Lord is stripping you from all your wicked, from all your benefits, and he's exposing who you really are, man. Just another filthy ass, wicked ass demon that's looming around this whole entire earth that needs to be taken out the way. All right, and you have to be taken out the way to learn your place, you know, so you could come back in your right state of mind and be in actual order, okay, like the Lord wanted you to be, okay. It says, as a matter of fact, yeah, that's the point on that. All right. So again, great miseries is gonna come to these women. All right. And one of the things that's the hot topic right now is all these women that are losing these SNAP benefits, man. A lot of you women, all right, are gonna end up, like I said earlier, you're gonna end up giving up your children for money. You're gonna end up eating your children when you have no food because the famine is coming, man. What are you gonna do in the time of famine, man? All right. When his women ain't got them benefits and that famine hits, best believe they're gonna do some grimy things, man, to get theirs. All right. So let's grab this as a matter of fact. Lamentations. All right. This is Lamentations 4 and 9. And it says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away stricken through the want of fruits of the field. The hands of the pitiful women. See? Of the pitiful women. It ain't say men here. All right. It says the hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people, man. All right. So let's say that this devil takes away these benefits and never brings them back. All right. Which, Lord willing, it happens that way. Okay. If they never get those benefits back and all hell breaks loose, okay, and society completely collapses with no money, okay, what are you going to do for you to get food, man? When you have no man, all right, you're going to be a target out here, man. You're going to be a target by these men. You're going to be a target. Your children are going to be targets, okay? And if it gets to the point where there is no food supply anymore, this is one of the punishments that the Lord is going to bring upon the woman. You see, He's going to bring that punishment that they're going to have to eat their children. Tells you that in Baruch 2 and 3, man. All right, that great plague such as never before. Okay, and one of the greatest plagues is going to be that a man and a woman shall eat the children that they have, man. Let's grab that real quick. Baruch. All right, this is Baruch 2 and 3. It says to bring up Salakia 2 and 2, to bring upon us plagues, great plagues, such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is a people before a place, right? It says, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses, that a man shall eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter. You see? So cannibalism is going to come back in style, man, which it never left, because if you go to certain countries, you got Levi, right? Levi is going into these Haitians, man. You go to these Haitians, to the Haitian country, right? These motherfuckers is into cannibalism, man. I just did a video on that, man. All right, showing you it was a whole Levite. She was eating that shit like it was nothing, and it was spiritual that she had them in a pot. All right, because that's what we just read. All right, the pitiful women have sodden their children. To sodden means to boil your children. You see? Yep. Let's grab that real quick. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. In that day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinder cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Right? Hold on. It shall be darkened. It says, and the doors that shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. All right. He shall raise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, which, you know, the daughters of music are being brought low. Okay, you got your Diddy's and your Jay-Z's getting caught up in the shit that they're doing. Okay, but let's look at it spiritually. These women are all about music and making it twerk. So those are daughters of music, man. They're gonna be brought low, and the grinding is gonna cease. So there's gonna be no jobs out here. There's gonna be no stores open, because suddenly the sown places shall be appear unsown. All right, the storehouses that were once full, all right, are gonna be empty. So what are these women gonna do? All right, they're not smart enough to be able to go out there and make food. All right, they're not out there doing their duties as a woman and planting vineyards and farms, doing farm work. All right, because they don't even have the smarts to that. All they're gonna do, all they know how to do is order out. All right, Uber Eats, okay, and put a microwave dinner in there for their kids, man. So what you think is gonna happen? All right, they're gonna have to starve. All right, and when you starve, okay, you become hangry. Okay, and when you become hangry, all right, it basically, what happens is your mind has a certain I want to say like endorphin that basically gets you sad as hell. All right, and it gets you very pissed off, man. All right, and when they get into that misery state, all right, and they start they have no water, which once you have no water, it's a wrap. All right, because it's not the dehydration. I mean, Slakia, it's not the starvation that kills you, it's the dehydration. All right, so once they don't have water and food, all right, what's going to end up happening is that they're going to look to their own children. You see? And Shalom, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Okay? So, going back to Lamentations 4 and 9, it says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away stricken through the want of the fruits of the field. And the hands of the pitiful women, all right, those prideful women, have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. Okay, when you go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, all right, it tells you that in the siege, all right, that's when we're on lockdowns, they're secretly going to eat their children, man. All right, this is Deuteronomy 28, and I'll take it from 53. Matter of fact, I'll take it from 52. It says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until the high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trusted throughout all the land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land which the Lord Yahweh thy power has given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, and the flesh of thy sons, and the flesh of thy daughters, which the Lord Yahweh thy power has given thee in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. Right? And then you jump down real quick, right? It says, matter of fact, I'll keep reading. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his own brother. All right, these are curses that are upon our people for not hearkening unto the Lord. It says, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat. Okay, because he has nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for her delicateness and tenderness. Yeah, they want to be that tough woman. All right, they want to act like if they're a man. They don't want to be in that tender, loving care spirit as a woman should be, soft. Okay, it says, her eye shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet. Yeah, even her newborns, man. You see? It says, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for the want of all things. You see? Because she gonna want to go back to society. She gonna try to save her pride. All right, because she realized that Esau had her in the trick bag, right? And her ass now is in dire straits, okay, in dangerous times. All right. So what's she gonna do? It says, and she shall eat them for the want of all things secretly in the siege and in straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates, man. All right. That's one of the plagues that's coming upon these women. You see, they're gonna eat their own children, all right, secretly. They're gonna take their children and hide it out. You know, as a matter of fact, when you go to, let's grab this. Prime example would be 2 Kings. This is 2 Kings 25. And actually, it's 1 Kings, Salakia. Come on. This is 1 Kings. Oh, no, I was right there. Salakia. Yeah, let me just grab it from my phone. All this looking through my pages is killing the time right now. Give me thy son today, and we'll give you my son tomorrow, KJV. This is, yeah, it was 2 Kings. Salakia. 2 King. Oh, that's why I said that. My bad. I said 25. That's why. It's 6 and 25. This is 2 Kings 6 and take it from 25. And it says, and there was a great famine in Samaria. All right. And this was when you had northern kingdom in captivity, man. It says, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. All right. And a fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So in that time of the famine, you had people that were selling abominable food, man, food that they're not supposed to eat. You see, you had them literally eating a donkey's head. All right, they were actually eating dove's shit, bird shit, basically. You see, that's how hard it was in those times, man. People were just scrapping to see whatever they can eat. All right, not even understanding that you was eating something abominated, man. All right, it says, And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord Yahweh does not help thee, when shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said to me, Give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son that we may eat him. And she hid her son. You see, she went and secretly, all right, went and secretly ate her son. Okay. And then when it was time for her to give up her, the other one was supposed to give up her child. All right. She ran off with it. You see, secretly, because she was going to go eat that by herself so she could stay alive, man. What makes you remember everything written aforetime, as the scriptures tell you, everything written aforetime is written for your learning, man. You see? So the Lord is telling you, all right, if it happened back in the day, it's going to happen in these days today. Okay? That's right. This is 2nd Ezra 16:21. It says, Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be good in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Okay, that's what's coming to these women. Okay, it says 2nd Ezra 16:22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. You see, and we just read that it's better for you to die by the sword than to actually die of hunger, man. Because when you dying of hunger, again, that's your stomach eating your stomach. How does that sound, man? You see, that's not it's basically going to be your stomach from getting eaten from the inside out. Okay, and you're going to see a lot of let's grab this. This is Isaiah 19, and this is 19. One second. Hold on. Might be 9. They will snatch on the right hand, KJV. And the enemy shall be together. See, KJV. Oh, it's Jeremiah 19. All right. This is Jeremiah 19. Okay. And 9. And it says, let me go up one. Come on. This is Jeremiah 19 and 8. And it says, And I will make the city desolate, and unhissing every one that passeth by thereby shall be astonished and hiss because of the plagues thereof. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and straitness wherewith their enemies. Man, you're gonna have people that are friends that were enemies, they're gonna become friends, all right, and they're gonna be sitting there eating each other, all right, basically conversating about, you know, what we gonna do, okay, all right. As a matter of fact, it tells you that in Isaiah 9. This is Isaiah 9. And yeah, let's take it from 18. 9 and 18. It says, For wickedness burneth as the fire, it shall devour the briars and thorns, and shall kindle in the thickets of the forest, and they shall mount up like the lifting up of smoke. Through the wrath of the Lord Yahweh of hosts is the land darkened, man. This is what's about to happen. The land is about to be darkened, man, because of the wrath of the Lord, man. All right. It says, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. All right. Survival of the fittest out here. No one's going to be able to, it's good. As the scriptures say, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Okay. Meaning they ain't going to spare nobody in these last days, man. And that's going into second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Okay. And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall snatch on the, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. You see, people gonna be like zombies out here, man. Okay. They're literally gonna be eating on themselves, you know, so hungry they can't find no food. All right. They're gonna start eating on the one hand, the right hand. All right. Once they see they ain't satisfied on that, they're gonna start to eat on their left hand. You know, you might see him pick up his damn feet. You know, if he's flexible enough, start eating on his damn feet. You know, so his ass is a rolling torso across the ground. You see, this is the judgment that's coming to our women. All right, that's coming to also our men. All right, and that's why a lot of these people going to end up taking that MOTB. That's why these women going to take that MOTB. All right. They're going to be at the forefront. All right. Especially the so-called black woman, man. She's going to be at the forefront of that shit because she wants to go back to living in her pleasure. She doesn't want to even imagine herself going through that type of commitment. Okay. This is why you need Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai in these last days. We cannot make it without him, man. All right. So let's continue on. I got about good 15 minutes. All right. This is second Ezra. I'll bring this out since I mentioned it. All right. Second Ezra 15. And get straight to the point. All right. For because of their pride, this is second Ezra 15 to 18. It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. Okay. This is the trouble that's coming to our cities, man. All right. And it's coming to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Okay. And anybody that's out there stacking up on their goods, all right, your houses are going to be destroyed. Your goods are going to be taken. You're going to be made a target. And the main target is going to be these women because they have so much money. All right. Because they know nothing. All right. They're able to go and buy these extra goods. They're going to go buy goods for their kids. All right. You see them on social media showing everything that they got. All right. They over there dancing and twerking it out. You know, while they got their whole living room filled with goods, which that's what you women is fucking dumb for always posting everything on fucking social media anyway, man. Been saying that shit for a long time. Get the hell up off of social media. Take your pictures off. Take these pictures off of your children. Because people see that shit, man. They'll see that how you think these men are always stalking and shit like that, man. You leave your locations where you're at, taking pictures where you're always at, so you're easy to be found. Okay? They see you flashing all this money. They see you running around in these nice cars. You're going to be made a target, man. Then on top of that, you got Esau that is constantly going to be watching you through these social medias, man. You don't see fucking Esau, all right? The top banking families posting up pictures of themselves and their family members, right? So why the hell would you do it, man? You see? But that's all the spirit of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, man. That they allow that he puts the spirit on you to do that. So you can be that target in that day. Okay? Them nuns over there looking at me crazy. I said, funny as hell. They're gonna go through it too. You know? because they wicked asses out there be trying to preach shit. As a matter of fact, it's a church right around the corner. You know, they in there thinking they on some godly shit. You know, but I tell you what, they wicked asses is more in line than our women are. You know, but yeah, like I said, man, these are the troubles that's coming upon our women. All right, a whole lot of great misery that they're not going to be able to handle. Remember, the woman is the weaker vessel. Okay, so them being the weaker vessel, all right, what's the first thing a woman does? She screams. She goes into panic mode. You know, this is why a man of the Lord is golden for you. All right, he is that hiding place from the wind. All right, with a man of the Lord, he gonna keep you straight, man. He gonna make sure you're good. He gonna make sure he take care of you. The Lord is gonna hear his prayer, and whatever he shall want and he desire, all right, he's gonna give it to him because he's a man of the Lord. He's a man of the faith. Now these fucking these niggas of the world that think they're tough, nah, they're gonna be taken out the way instantly. You know, as a matter of fact, it tells you that in that day the mighty men shall cry bitterly. KJV. All right. It says Zephaniah 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. You see? And these days, man, all this tough shit out the window. I mean, all these tough niggas out here, that shit gonna go out the window, man. All right? The Lord said the mighty men, okay, are gonna cry bitterly. So these people that think they tough out here, all right, think that, oh, you're gonna come up against the sword, you're gonna come up against Esau, all right, these YNs, they're gonna cry bitterly, man. All right, it's gonna be no problem for Esau to take you out, all right, with his technology. Esau not even gonna be around you at the end of the day, man. You see, he gonna do that shit with his technology from a building, you know, or he'll sit up on top of a building while everybody out here having a fucking frenzy. All right, he's just gonna be sniping people, man. You know, blowing your damn brains out, and then you'll see these people go and pick up your brain, all right, and they're gonna think it's food, man. You see. This is why you have to take heed to the word of the Lord, man, as we read in Isaiah 32. All right. Tremble at my voice. Okay. You're supposed to fear when we're out here on these highways and hedges telling your ass that you're gonna starve, telling you that you're gonna eat your children. That should make you fear Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. But they have that mentality of they don't even know the Lord, man. They don't even care. All right, because they're so caught up in their pleasures of this world and their wickedness. Okay. Let's grab this. They's bumping that Boys to Men hard over there. All right, going into what I was saying with these women in the rods, right? Sleeping with all these men. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 23 and 23 and 22. It says, thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth an heir by another. For first, all right, as a matter of fact, let me take it up a little bit. I'll take it from 19. It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. He knew all things ever that they were created. So also after that they were perfected, he looked upon them all. This man shall be punished in the streets of the city, and where he suspected not, he shall be taken. Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth an heir by another. For first she has disobeyed the law of the Most High Yahweh, and secondly she has trespassed against her own husband. And thirdly, she has played the whore in adultery and brought children by other men. See, playing that whoredom, all right, ain't gonna get you nothing but destroyed out here. You see, because you're not supposed to be doing that, man. All right, basically, he just named three sins in a row when you commit whoredom. You know, you're breaking wedlock with your husband. All right, that's your first sin right there. It says, secondly, you trespass. All right, against your husband, all right, and you and you transgress the law for doing that. You see, and then it says, and thirdly, she has played the whore in adultery and brought children by another man. Okay, let's grab 25 and 9. It says, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and her eyelids. All right. That's why you're not supposed to wear that damn makeup. All right. As a woman, when you wear that makeup, that's just showing you true whoredom, man. All right. That's why men get mesmerized with them haughty looks. All right. They get mesmerized with the makeup that you put on your eyelids. They put them little cat eyes, you know. It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through over much liberty. Okay, and that's what this woman's about. She's about having nothing but liberty. She's about having, I could do whatever I want, whatever I choose. You ain't shit, nigga. Okay, well, because you wanted to do whatever you wanted, all right, this is why the Lord's going to do whatever he wants to you. You see, because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is the power, all right, and you are not to usurp authority over no man. And you damn sure ain't about to usurp authority over the Lord. You see? It says, watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Yeah, when these women do what they do, don't sit there and act like you're surprised about it, man. The Lord told you that shit to be careful with these women, man. Not to deal with these women, period. All right? It says, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he has found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. Yeah, she constantly opening her legs onto every man that comes her way. You know, these women have no chill mode, man. All right. It's all about pleasure to them. It's all about me, whatever I want. You know, oh, you can't give it to me. I'll find somebody else that can give it to you. You see? This is 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? That's why these women are constantly called bitches, man. The Lord is calling you a whole bitch. All right? Calling you a dog. And it's spiritual that you constantly see these women all over social media, all right, always sticking out their damn tongue. You know, your Cardi B's and your Meg Stallions, man. That's their idols. That's their gods. Okay, along with the money of the society. Okay, along with them, sexually always having a rod. That's their god. They love rods. You know, and these are the plagues that is going to come upon you. Okay, let me grab this. This is Ecclesiasticus 7 and 24. Has thou daughters? Have a care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful toward them. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weightier matter. But give her to a man of understanding. You see, they're supposed to be dealing with a man of the Lord, and you as a father, all right, are supposed to keep your daughters in line, man. Keep them in check. All right. This is why they take away the man from the family, from the household, because if the man's not there, he can't give her the order. You see? All right, these women are not supposed to be showing off their bodies. They're supposed to have care towards their bodies, man. All right. It says, "Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman." Yeah, meaning what? All right, don't give yourself up to one of these promiscuous women. You know, I'm guilty of that my damn self. I tried to deal with a woman, a fucking two-thirds woman, a real two-thirds woman, all right, and thought that just because I had, the spirit of the Lord on me, that I could change this bitch. You can't change these fucking promiscuous ass women, you know. The Lord told you to stay away from them for a reason, you know. Just because you have this truth, all right, the Lord He's not gonna be with you when you over here trying to deal with one of these two-thirds women. Now, can it happen? Yeah, you gotta let it happen naturally, man. That's how me and my wife got together. And I wasn't even trying to deal with her. Yeah, that was just a whole booty call. But hey, through the Spirit, the Lord kept me around there, and she heard what I had to say about these scriptures, and she actually took heed of it. I actually watched my woman in front of me go from being wicked as hell to the Lord actually transforming her to a woman of the Lord, and may Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai always keep that spirit on her, and I tell her to this day, shit, I don't trust your ass. You could be changed at any fucking moment that you don't like something, but hey, so far so good, call her Lord and La Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. you know. But when you go out there and you search, because we tend to, as men, we get in that mode sometimes, man. You end up trying to deal with a certain type of woman because you get caught up in her beauty or whatever. You get caught up in her little ways, and that's gonna be your downfall, man. You see, you'll end up being destroyed at the end of the day because you following after their ass, So you got to be careful. All right, this is Oh, I wanted to grab this. Slakia. Speaking of women not being jealous. Uh, yeah, this is Ecclesiasticus 26:6. But a grief of the heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicated with all. Okay, so women are not supposed to be jealous of other women. All right, let's grab 8. It says a drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causes great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. Yeah, you see these women, right? All right, and you see them being drunks, man. Don't even deal with their ass, man, because they're already bad news, man. They the type that when they continue to drink these spirits, which liquor has spirits in it. That's why it's called spirits. Okay, it comes with demons. All right, these women continue to drink, and then they catch them demons on them, and then they show no shame. All right, they don't cover themselves. They'll just do whatever they do, and have no care in the world to doing it. You see, and that's one of the main reasons. All right, these women are about to go through a lot of hell. All right, because they don't care. You see, because they thought they could just get away with everything that they're doing wickedly. Because they have the system behind them. You know, because they have compassed the man and they have these benefits of the world. You see, but all that is about to be taken down. All right, all of that, the Lord is about to just literally demolish. Okay, and you women are going to be left in misery. All right, without a man of the Lord. And then when you do come to run to the men of the Lord, we're going to remember your faces, and we're not going to deal with you, and we're just going to watch you perish right in front of us. We're going to watch you eat your children right in front of us, man, because the Lord is going to allow us to see those things, man, as a testimony to show that these things were to come to pass, man. All right. But hey, through the Spirit, I got to end it. Lord willing, I can pick up on another video in a little while. All right. But I got to go pick up the little one. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Lord and La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakaf Qadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. the Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. The next one, Shalom, keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as good soldiers of Yahweh Shah, the water brothers for the precepts. Shalom.